Hi there, my name is Will and welcome to a deep dive of workflow components. Today we're going to go through the errors property as well as the allowFailure property to help you manage errors inside of your workflows. Errors are annoying, there's no avoiding that, but there is a number of ways inside of Kestra to help you manage them and be able to spot when they happen in real time. First of all, we're going to have a look at the errors property and how you can use this to be able to notify you when errors occur so that you can react to them as you need. Let's jump into an example. So as you can see here in this example, I have a task here that is going to run a shell command exit1, which will cause it to fail. However, we've got the errors block here that basically says if something fails, then execute this task. And this task in this case is a Slack notification that will let us know what's going on. This is really useful for alerting purposes when something doesn't go as planned, maybe something times out, or maybe you're using the timeout property, which we'll discuss in another video, or something errors for some unexpected reason. You can have this then notify you so that you can react quickly. Let's execute this example and see it happen in real time. As we can see, as we execute this, the failed task does fail as expected, but then we can see that it does successfully send a notification to Slack, which we can have a look at too. And as we can see here in Slack as well, it has sent the notification to let us know exactly which execution has failed. And we could also maybe customize this to link us to the execution so we can jump in straight away and figure out what went wrong. The next property is called allowFailure. Normally when the task fails in Kestra, the whole flow will come to a stop. Sometimes this can be quite frustrating, especially if the task that does fail is something that isn't mission critical or used downstream. Maybe that's something like a notification or an alert, where if it doesn't happen because maybe you're trying to send a notification to Slack, but Slack's currently having an outage, then it doesn't actually matter. You want it to continue running your workflow, especially if it's already halfway through it. It is worth noting though that when the execution finishes, it will end with a warning state due to that failed task. So it will still perform the later tasks, as assuming that they are successful, it will still have a warning state to help let you know that something did go wrong in the process. Let's jump into an example. So this flow is going to execute 3 different tasks. However, the second task is the same one we saw in our earlier example. It's going to run exit1 as a shell command, which will cause it to fail. So we'll see that the third task will still be able to execute despite the second one failing. Let's have a look at this in action. And as we can see here, this has successfully executed where the first and the third task were successful. But we can see that the second task has actually got a warning as it did fail, but we allowed it to fail and continue. And if we have a look at the execution overall, we can see that it has got a warning in the overview. So really helpful for being able to help you identify, but it was able to successfully execute the first and the last tasks despite the second one failing. Hopefully you found that useful, and this will be helpful for adding error handling inside of your workflows. Let us know what you think in the comments and how you're going to use this in your automations.